Hello, it's Sean. Today I'm going to be doing a preview of a game called Empty Space Explorers. This game is designed and published by Peter Collins and his daughters. Sounds like the whole family has a pretty big interest in science and space, so they've kind of worked together and come up with this game. The game is essentially a strategic racing game. You have probes and rockets. You have to go explore the universe and find your exoplanet. Once you've gotten there with your probe, then you can build your rocket and travel across the universe to get it to your color exoplanet. And then the first player to get their colony ship, which is their rocket, onto their exoplanet wins the game. It's interesting because you don't know what the universe looks like necessarily. You know, you'll have some idea of pieces of it, but you've got to explore and travel to find what's there. And the other players can change up the map. You can change the universe a little bit, change colors, and throw some black holes or get rid of black holes if you need to clear the path. The artwork on the cards is very cool. Pretty much all the cards have different artwork on them. These come from NASA's repository of photos, so they are trademark free. All of the universe cards, except for the black holes, have different images on them, which makes them really pretty cool. And then the wild cards are all Apollo mission pictures, which is also pretty neat. This year is the 50th anniversary of the moon landings, which the Apollo missions, my understanding, were all directed towards getting us there. So they've kind of tied that in with this game because to connect with that 50th anniversary. So I've got a sample board set up here. You kind of do 4 wide, 7 deep, and then put your exoplanets on the top. The starting suggestion is that it's full, so you have 4 cards across and 7 rows, all full up. But you have the option to change that a little bit. Here I've just taken out a couple cards to give some different pathways. Kind of puts in a couple choke points that you've got to travel down, so changes the dynamic of the game a little bit when you do this. Once you have the universe set up, each player takes it in turn to flip over 2 cards that they wish to explore. It can be any 2 cards. We'll pretend this is a 2-player game, and I'll flip a couple cards. We're gonna flip that one first, and this one for 1 player, and then the other player will get to choose, and they're gonna take that one and this one. Each player starts with a hand of 2 cards. And then the youngest player will take the first turn, and then you just go around the table after that. The objective of the game is it's kind of got 2 objectives. First is to get your probe onto the exoplanet that matches your color. Next is to get your rocket ship or colony ship to the exoplanet that matches your color. At the beginning of the game, you don't actually have a color yet, which is another kind of interesting thing. So you're going to be collecting these cards, and you're going to try to build a ship. Whatever the color cards that you turn in to build your first probe is going to be the color that you are for the game. On your turn, you can either research or you can explore. If you research, you can pick up cards, then play cards, and then discard cards. If you explore, you can play cards and then move your probe or rocket. And you have these nice little cheat sheets that give you the different things you can do on your turn, and then kind of talks through what some of the cards that you can play. So the first turn, let's assume I'm going to go ahead and research. I need to get 4 cards of the same color so that I can build my probe. I've already got a wild and a red, so I'm going to draw that red, flip a card, and I'm going to take that. So now I have got 4 of the same color, and I can now play cards. So I'm going to turn in those 4 cards, and I'm going to get my probe. And because I turned in red, that's the color I am now. I can start anywhere down here. When I move onto the board, if there were all 4 here, I could place them in any one, but I haven't moved yet. So right now, I'm just down here. That gets replenished. The other player, they've got a black hole and a blue. So they're going to draw So they've got a couple black holes in their hand. I'm gonna replace that. So that's one of the options you can do when you're playing cards. A black hole just gets placed, and you take one of the face-up cards, and you can take that space, turn it into a black hole, blocks the path of everybody. Back to player one. We're gonna draw 2 cards. All right. Not gonna play anything. Player 2, we're going to take this yellow. Let's see what comes over here. We're going to draw the top. Now I've got 5 cards in my hand. I have to discard down to 4 because at the end of your turn you can only have 4 cards. I'm going to discard the black hole because I don't know what color I'm going to get yet. We're going to explore again. I'm going to draw that red. We're going to research again. Alright, so I'm going to play a couple cards. I'm going to play 2 cards of different colors, and I can explore something. And when I do that, I can peek at a card, see what it is, and I have the choice if I can put it face up or I can leave it face down. If you got a good memory, you can leave it face down so nobody else knows what you got. But if your memory's not so great, you can flip it over and leave it face up, or if it's something you know you're going to want to change. So I play those 2 cards. Player 2 is still trying to get 4 of the same color. There's 3 yellows now. Draw another. Still don't have it set, but I'm getting closer. So again, too many cards, so I'm going to play 2 cards here. I'm going to play these 2, and he's going to explore, and he's just going to flip that up. Back to player 1. Don't have enough cards really to do a whole lot, so we're going to draw again. Not going to play any cards right now. Back to player 2. Still trying to get his probe. Draw a couple cards. He has too many cards, so we got to play some. I'm going to play a black hole here. And then I can't do anything else, so I'm just going to discard. Well, yeah. I'm going to discard that. Alright, so we're going to move now. So I pick one of the first row to move on to. If the card matches the color of your ship or probe, you can move on to it for free. If not, you have to play cards to move on to it. So I'm going to move there, and that costs the blue card. I'm going to move there, and it costs the green card. I can move onto a face down card if I want, but if I flip it up and it's a black hole, then I'm destroyed. If I flip it up and I don't have a card that matches, I'm also destroyed. So we're going to try it and see what it is. Hopefully it's a blue card. But it's not, it's a black hole. So I move on to it and my ship is destroyed. What that means is you just come back to the start. You don't have to pay to rebuild the ship. It just is bumped back here. But we've got a black hole over there now, so that's a blocked path for us. Player 2 is still trying to get the cards they need to build. And we've got them now. So we've got 4 yellows, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to play those 4 cards, and now they've built their probe. Another option that you can do on your turn is you can change the universe. So if I have 3 cards of the same color, I can change something to match. So I don't like this black hole here, so I'm going to play these 3 cards with the same color, and I'm going to replace the card in the universe with one of those. So one of those will get placed there. This one gets discarded. And so now that is a yellow card and will be able to be moved onto. Players keep taking turns until they get up here. Let's say it's the yellow player's turn. We're going to move onto this red space. As soon as one of the probes reaches this last section, all of these will get flipped over, all the exoplanets. At this point, anybody can now build their ship, their rocket, or colony ship, but they can't move it on to the board until their probe reaches their colored exoplanet. It's red's turn now. They're going to move. They're going to go there, play the blue. They can move here because they're red, and now they've reached that position. Now they've got to collect 4 cards of red so they can build their rocket, and they will be able to start moving that through the universe to get it to the exoplanet. As soon as they land that rocket on that, they are the winner, or whoever is the first is the winner. Overall, I think this game is pretty fun. Had a good time. It plays quick. I've taught it to a couple of different groups of friends, and everybody seemed to have a good time with it. It's easy to teach and easy to learn. I like the theme of it. I'm a big fan of anything that's space themed, pretty much, so it sits well with me. It's a simple racing game. As with most of the racing games that I've played, it does have an issue of somebody getting out in the lead. They tend to stay out in the lead. There's some mitigation you can do by playing some black holes and things like that, so it can slow somebody down. In one of the games I played, the one person was having a real hard time getting the colors they needed to build their rocket ship. They had collected cards to build the red ship, but somebody then built the red ship out from under them. And then by the time they'd gotten some more cards to build the next color, somebody else built that. Because the color you get is based on the cards that you have, it can really be problematic if you've collected a set of cards. You know, you've gotten 3 reds, and then the guy next to you has got 4, and he builds that red. Well, you got to start over trying to build for a different color. That is a little bit of a challenge. Personally, I would think it would be better to just any 4 of the same color and you get to build a rocket ship. It doesn't matter what the color is. That's just my thought. I can see reasons why they've not chosen to do that, but I think it might make it a little bit smoother, a little bit less problematic in that sense. The cards are cool. I really like the artwork. The shape of the cards I like. They can be a little bit hard to shuffle. They're pretty small, so they don't bend. You don't want to bend them too much, so they don't work super great for that. And this is a small set. When you've got the whole deck and you're trying to shuffle, it doesn't work as well. The other problem I have is I tend to sleeve my games. These are a little bit of an odd size. I'm sure there's sleeves out there that will work for these, but I like to buy the cheap penny sleeves, and those won't work for these cards. The rockets, I don't mind the look of. I think those look nice. The probes could probably have something a little bit better. These are not necessarily the final components, though. This game is going to be in Kickstarter, and it's very possible that they use different components when they get the game to Kickstarter, or maybe they'll have stretch goals for better components. I don't know for sure, but as these sit right now, they work. But like I said, even if they did 2 rocket ships, and the first one just counts as the probe and the second one is your colony ship, I think that would look better than these just cones. From what I've seen of the Kickstarter page, the game is going to be available with a couple different options. One is just a bag with the components in it, and that's what I got shipped to me for the demo, of course. A bag, the cards and all, they sit in here. They have a boxed version as well, and as I said, I think it's a fun game. It's a simple game, plays in about a half hour to 45 minutes. It's a game that you can sit down and play a couple times, have a good time with it, set up a different board next time, different layout to the universe, and have another go, and have 2 or 3 games played in an evening. If you're into science fiction or racing games, I definitely suggest you check this out. I'll put a link to the Kickstarter page in the description when it goes live. I think there is a preview page that I'll have linked in the description now. I believe they plan to go live with the Kickstarter towards the end of June. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this and the other projects that I work on, you can subscribe to my channel. Be sure to click the bell so you get notified when I post new videos. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook, and there's links to all those in the description. If you have any questions or comments, please put it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.